Welcome, family. Today, my conversation is one that I welcome anyone who wants to join in on this conversation who feel somehow differently than what I'm speaking, because I'm speaking from my ancestors. I'm speaking from deep within me. I'm really feeling some type of way. You can say I'm being convicted or I'm innerly within me to speak my mind and speak my heart because we know not the traps that have been set for us as a people and how great and mighty we are. And, you know, we are in a state of chaos, yes, but a great change is coming. And I can tell you this, the ones who put us in this turmoil in our lives, they will never be the ones to liberate us from this. They will only be the ones that will continue to rid the earth of its sand. They will continue to be the ones that will create the hell that burns continuously within. They will continue to be the ones who will make you trick you, trickery to make you think good and bad, that the something somehow some are good and only some are bad. Think about it. Why are you dealing with this good and evil? Why are you having to deal with this? Well, language is everything. It's vibrations. So when you examine the answer, are always in the words we speak, are always in the language. So we might ask, why was our language stripped from us? Why was our spirituality stripped from us? Why were you fed lies? Why were you fed a construct, a mind set? Why was our minds shaped to think in a way that is conducive for this society to flourish and trample over us and trample over everything that is supposed to be loving and peaceful? Because evil rules the minds of my people, evil rules all over. Which just means the lower energies. The lower energies rule all over. It's got people wanting to live within a lower energy realm. And, you know, interracial, this is what the topic is about. They know not what they do know not what they do. Everything is done in ignorance. When the people don't know who they are, another people that put them in the position that they don't know who they are can come and tell you you can interracially date. You want that approval. You want that, yes, let me in. Let you into what? Why did our people ever want to be involved and think that somehow it makes a difference? To think somehow it's going to make a difference when it's a part of the tool. Interracial relationship is something that is part of racism, a great big part of racism. That if you don't see it, then you don't see that part of their strategy is that you don't see that you continue to destroy yourselves, because this is what it's self-destruction. All of it is self-destruction. They put it into play. This is magic, okay? This is their white magic. White supremacy, white magic, white power. But if you don't see how they've decided to use interracial relationships, not just the man and woman relationships, but also your relationship, period, with another race, with the other race. Because as far as I'm concerned, you can't have a relationship. It's called something else. It's something other than relationship. And I'm about to explain why. Because if it was a real relationship, you can't it can't be a real relationship. Because if it was a real relationship, why is it a why is it an unbalanced situation? Why is it a relationship out of the circumstances that are in their power? Why? How can you have a relationship with anyone that is overpowering you, that has not given you reciprocity, that hasn't given you justice? You think love is you think anything makes love. You think anything conjugates love, but it doesn't. That sometimes the thing you mistake for love can be hate, because they sure don't have empathy for you. And this hate gives birth to more power, because the power over the Nubian community is self hate. There's so much self hate within the Nubian community that at times I have to sit back and I have to think, destroy it all, destroy it all, like the days of the flood, because the hope is not there. The hope doesn't exist in there. Because I have to ask myself, I know my people ain't right in the minds. I know my people are not right in the minds. And this is the world I have to exist in right now. This is the world I have to exist in. And I want so much greater. So I think maybe in another level, in another place somewhere, when I pass over, when I transition perhaps, but I don't think it can exist in this realm at all, because this realm is full of, it's got me questioning a lot of things, but things I shouldn't probably even question because I know that my people are not right because of all the wrong, because of all the wrong, they can't get right. They can't be right. The self-love doesn't exist, and they know not what they do. That's what that whole thing means. They know not what they do. And because the whole thing is like it says, no one can serve two masters. You can't serve two energies. Okay, I'm back, family. No one can serve two masters. Either he will hate one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. That's exactly what happens in the society that we're in. We're trying to, you can't love everybody because everybody's not loved. When you don't love yourself and your own, then how can you, how can that conjugate as love? How can that become love? How can that become love? If you don't love yourself and those within your group, how can it be love? Please feel free to come up because maybe in this realm I'm wrong, but no. How? But if you think I'm wrong for the pain I feel for the ancestors that live within me, it's pain that I spruce out, then by all means show up because this is the type of world that we live in. Where beauty is seen on the surface in this society. And then you want to procreate with what you say is beauty, but then you wonder later about the wickedness. Hmm. I always harp on your genetics. Who, that's why I say my people are not right because who would take on the genetics of such people who have done such destruction and such dis why would you even find that appealing? And then you bash your women. And then women bash their men in our own race. And you wonder where that comes from. You wonder where it comes from. Well, it comes from the division, and that's what evil does. That's what the lower energies do. When you get into these relationships, which we're in, which we're in on a constant basis. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. But like I was saying, who would take on, that kind of genetic? Oh, okay. Okay. This is why we go round and round in circles. This is why we, this is, you're your own worst enemy. And I'm not going to say nothing can be done about it. There's a lot that could be done about it. But it's education. Educating ourselves is very critical on the world around us, people around us, things that are happening. Not just engaging, not just accepting. You don't have to accept anything, especially anything that is not accepting of you totally. And in my mind, I don't see other races as accepting to us because they can't empathize with us. They can't. It's a lot of things. You don't have to sit and argue. You should never have to convince them of the racism within your workplace. You shouldn't have to convince them of the work of the racism that's in the politics. You shouldn't have to convince them of the racism that is in the medical field. You shouldn't have to convince them of the racism in this world. But you do, because they do not know. They do not see themselves as wrong in no shape or form. And I see nothing beautiful or handsome about that. And I would never want to share DNA with anything or genetics with anything like that. Never, never, never. Not after what everything my ancestors have had to endure. But some people can fall into the tricks and the traps of the most evilest, wicked beings on the planet. And that's what's happened. And that's what's happened. And they know not what they do. They know not what they do. I had a lady, I was telling her that they gave us this religion. And she was saying she had to say that, oh, but we had religion too. No, we never had religion. We didn't need religion. You got to realize these people were struggling people to they were struggling for humanity. They were struggling for civilization. They were struggling for something to make them human. We never needed that. We never had that but we struggled to give them those things because we saw them going around destroying things and people and animals, just like today. Things are no different from then to today. And if you can't see that, it's not my place to make you see. It's only your place to get, get yourself out of ignorance because ignorance is a dangerous thing. Ignorance is a real dangerous thing. Ignorance is a real dangerous thing. So now we have this inner relationship between us, not just not just the black man and black woman, but us, period. I've seen it. I've seen it, and I don't know why it happens. I've seen love one and hate the other. I've seen it. Unfortunately, I've seen it in the children, and it was shown to me. It was shown to me, and I could not fathom it. I cannot understand it. You know, because we have no choice as Nubian people. We have no choice in this society. You know, we have to get along. We're not the ones who push racism, even though we do need separation because the relationship that we've been entangled in hasn't been a very good relationship at all. It's like an abuser, and we've been victimized, and we're sick of being victimized. We're sick of it. It's sickening how racism has been transformed into, if you're not amongst white people, then you are the hateful person. So it's like the opposite, to keep us separated, to keep us from building, to keep us from being our greatest that we can be. To keep us from being the greatest we can be. And these people always have divide and conquer. Always have divide and conquer. And everything you can think of that's been divide and conquer. And some say, well, it's not white people. Some say white people control everything, they own everything, right? No, they stole everything. They stole everything. They stole they stole the they stole the computer idea. They stole everything. They stole everything. Everything. So what am I supposed to um feel? What am I supposed to um do? Do you think because the whole thing is that these things have no power over me. The money, the internet, the YouTube does not have no power over me. So if they take their money, they take their YouTube, they take everything away from me. I guess I'll be back to square one, right? I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that they've taken anything of value from me. That's the thing about it. What do we value? Do we hold value in the material things that these people have impressed upon us, put us in a system, of place where we're controlled and birthing our own destruction? Controlled by money, controlled by this, controlled by that, everything. I'm telling you, they will not be the ones to give us things back. They will never be the ones. They will, so we might as well stop looking their way. They will be surprised what is going to happen. What is going to make things turn, because it's not going to come from them. They don't have that power. When it comes from them, it's a lie. It's something they're using to make themselves look good to you. Because, our people think that somehow there's good white people out there and there's good genes within these white people that you can take and you can create with them something. You're not creating anything but destruction. You're not creating anything but destruction. You can't be beautiful on the outside if your insides are rotten. And unfortunately, too many of our brothers find out too late. And unfortunate, too many of our sisters find out usually on the date of their funerals. I'm not here to speak against y'all's lifestyle choices because it's more than just a lifestyle choice for me. It's, I think, higher, so I don't just think on this little miniature, uh, small, um, cancel culture level. Go to the Grammys, win a Grammy, stupidity. Um, I'm not on that level. I'm just not on that level. So I'm just over it. I'm over it. You have to love each other and hold hands with each other and walk down the street. Then we can have an associates relationship. But as long as you are bringing people into your heart, into your soul, it just may be something ugly you're hugging up on. Just may be that devil that's spoken of, that lower self that you're embracing. And you have to work with yourself within yourself. Because every time I've seen an interracial relationship, from my own experience, it's been a wicked. It's been wicked and evil. It's been wickedness surrounding it. Wickedness surrounding it. Turmoil. But, you know, it's because we're living in ignorance. We live in ignorance to what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. We think we're dealing with love, Christianity, but Christianity was the very thing that went out and crusade and killed all them people and forced those who they imprisoned to become Christians. Because if you didn't become Christian, you was killed. So that's a lot to think about. I don't see how you make good of something that birthed bad. I don't get it. So now the black man is bashing the black woman. He puts the white woman in front of her as if she's everything. But you got to realize the black woman has been damaged. She's been the one that white woman has plot against. So what are you doing? What are you doing? The same with the black woman. Why would you get with the man that has been instrumental in the destruction of your people? They are their ancestors. You are your ancestors. And then when they get in these relationships, they love the world that these people come from and they hate the world that they are from. They hate the world that they are from. They don't know how to handle juggling those two worlds. And like I said, it births destruction. It brings more destruction. It doesn't bring someone lied to you. They lie. They told you it brings peace. What peace? Where's your peace? Where is your peace? As many as black people have been mixing and interracially mixing, where's the peace in the world? That's a lie. Everything's a lie. Where is the peace? Y'all have all this love. It's fake love. It's nothing real about the love out here because it's a construct. It's a matrix. It's a lie. It's an illusion to see what you're going to do. Are you going to fall for it? Or are you going to get up and love yourself and fight against it and search for your truth? Or are you going to you see we make a choice. And like these Christians, they don't see it. They don't see it. We make a choice. They see it as the mundane things. They see it as the mere mortal things, the walking around on flesh and blood things. They the flesh and blood things. but it's a lot bigger than just the flesh and blood things. A lot bigger. You make choices. You make choices to float with the low energies and allow that to engulf you, or to try to fly high. You can try to fly high and kill all of this craziness, nonsense, wickedness, whatever you want to call it, and pull your heaven from within you outward, because your heaven is within you. You bring it forward to what you want. You don't go by what you see out here, because that should never control your world. That's trying to influence your world. There's things that are trying to influence your world. There's things that are trying to influence your great peaceful world that is within you. And I'm saying that our people, we have the power to overcome all of that, to fly above it. We have to fly above it like a butterfly. We have to fly above it, not get caught in a jar, but continue to fly free and fly high. But there's we're in a place where there's tricks and traps. There's tricks and there are traps. But you, as the butterfly, has to see the beauty within you and fly far and high. Because there's so many people that are falling for the tricks and traps. And they know not what they do due to ignorance, the lack of knowledge. And I'm not just talking about one particular subject of interracial, or I'm talking about allowing your powers, your energy to do, to be, to overcome. You allow that to be beaten at times, to be taken, to be stolen, and to be captivated. It needs to be free. They're not going to be the ones to give you anything. Anything they give is pretty much a show, a surface thing, and you're still going to have to fight, fight, fight. So, the best way to fight is spiritually. I don't think, and spiritual people get spiritual mistaken. Spiritual is that which they cannot see, but that which they will know because it manifests. See, that which they can't see is something between you and me. We don't have to talk aloud about those things. Those things just move automatically. What we don't see the spiritual things. There's so much spiritual things going on. They're telling you they're telling you to vote, 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 vote. There's so many spiritual things going on around us. But because you don't have the sight to see, my people don't have the sight to see, we miss out. 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 We mistake it. We don't want to see it. We don't want to do it. It's simple. It's simple. It's simple. It's just that simple. And with that said, family, I'm gonna get out of here. True love, real peace, the higher self within the soul. Till next time, peace.